So my family and we went to Niagara Falls. I don't know why we did this, but we went on the U.S. side for some reason, and we were with another family, and they had a daughter that we were almost the same age, and so we're just hanging out. Just her and I went to the pool, and there was no one else in this pool, and so we're swimming, and all of a sudden this man walks in with a beard and goes down the steps and is just sitting in the shallow end, and we're in the deep end jumping, and we're looking at each other going, that's Kenny Rogers. And my friend was like, she says, that's not Kenny. I go, it's Kenny. So I swam to the shallow end and swam right up to him. And I said, are you Kenny Rogers? And he said, yeah. And I says, man, I'm a huge fan. I'm like 11 or 12. I'm freaking out. His album, The Gambler, had just come out and was huge, and he was a big star. And I was like, I'm thinking, what are you doing here by yourself? He's probably thinking, what are you doing down here? He says, what are you doing? I says, well, we're just here for the weekend. He says, are you here with your parents? I said, yeah. He goes, well, do you guys want to come to a show tonight? I was like, well, yes. I'm just this 11-year-old kid with this superstar, and I can't believe he's just talking with me. He didn't have anybody with him. He had no handlers. And we just talked. And he said, do you want to come to the show? And I said, well, yeah. He goes, how many tickets do you need? I says, well, we're going to need 6. He says, okay. He says, now, this probably wouldn't have flown today. He said, come up to the presidential suite and pick up your tickets. He says, my manager's there. He'll get your tickets. So I'm not even thinking anything. I was like, yeah. So I go and tell my dad. I said, Dad, we got to go up to the presidential suite. Kenny Rogers has tickets for us. He's like, come on. Like, he didn't believe me. We took the elevator up, knocked on the door, and Kenny Rogers and his manager showed up, handed us 6 tickets, and it was the Oak Ridge Boys, Dottie West, and Kenny Rogers. And I was already a fan, but that just kind of solidified this. That was probably one of the coolest moments. He didn't have any pretentiousness. He was no diva. He simply saw these kids that liked his music and took us in and said, let's give him tickets. And we had a great night. It was incredible.